Wow. I was going to make a pod episode after the conclusion of both men's semi-finals at Roland Garros today, but I won't be doing that because we've just had the news that we're only getting one match in the men's singles today, and that is because Matteo Arnaldi has withdrawn from his semi-final match versus countryman Cobolli with what's being described as a viral illness. He said that he hasn't been well over the last day, over the day that would be normally the rest day for them, prepping for the final, has been unable to eat and therefore presumably unable to train as well. And so we've got, in this already insane tournament that we've been watching, a semi-final withdrawal. The first semi-final withdrawal, I believe, in the men's side since Nadal's withdrawal at Wimbledon in 2022, which put Kyrgios through to the final. This puts Cobolli through to the final, so he's now going to be really fairly fresh, having had several days rest between his quarterfinal and his final. And he's playing Alexander Zverev because Zverev came through today in 4 sets, was largely in control for most of the match, really dominant on serve, particularly on first serve, high win percentage, working really well for him. 79% of points won behind his first serve, and broke when he needed to get ahead in those sets. Had one wobble on serve in the third set, which let Mensik back into the match, but it never really looked in much jeopardy. Mensik went off during the third set for an off-court medical timeout, came back on, and that was pretty much when he broke Zverev soon after that and got ahead in that set, but then Zverev responded really quickly in the fourth set. So overall, I'd describe a comfortable win for Zverev. And now he gets to play someone who has beaten him before and is also very fresh. So absolutely would put Zverev as the favourite moving into this final. But it's not a done deal for him, and it could end up being one of the more challenging matches that he's played. I mean, I know people have said, that Hodar was going to be a real problem for him, and he turned out not to be, and people thought that Mensik might actually be beating Zverev, and he turned out not to really come that close. But there's reason to believe that Cobolli could cause him problems. I'd be surprised if it was straight sets for Zverev, but I would still predict Zverev to win overall. Of course, before that, we've got the women's match, and we've got Maja Strzelecka, who is a match away from becoming an Emma Raducanu 2.0, winning a slam from qualifying. Be quite interested to see that happen and see what her career looks like afterwards, because I imagine it's going to be very, very different from how Raducanu's has gone. I mean, hopefully she can not fall off a cliff to the same extent, but also kind of keep ahead in the game, maybe keep her coach for more than 5 minutes. Things like that would be quite useful. We'll have to see. I mean, she may not win. She's not the favourite in the final. Andreeva will have to be the favourite. She's been playing lights out tennis. She dominated Kostyuk way more than I think anyone would have predicted. Even those that would have put her as the favourite wouldn't have. I mean, this was a match that people would have thought was going to be 3 sets. So we're going to see a really, really informed Andreeva take on a very, very tricky Maja Strzelecka. I think she's going to cause some problems for Andreeva. I don't think it's going to be a comfortable match for her, but I do expect her to win. And she's been playing great tennis, and people have been saying for a while, looking at Andreeva, this is a future Grand Slam champion, not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when, and this could be the when that we're looking at now. It's weird kind of parity between the women's and the men's draws. Madison Keys was joking in press a few days ago that it sort of catches, and that people are looking across draws and seeing weird things happening, and that sort of subconsciously, and for reasons that aren't necessarily explainable, once one upset happens, another one's more likely to happen, and the vibe kind of catches and gets spread around. Talking of spreading around, we have to hope that Cobolli is actually able to play in his final match versus Zverev, because he did go into press with Matteo Arnaldi. And that's going to be interesting. So we hope that whatever Arnaldi has got, it's not massively contagious, because he may have just ruined the chance of Italian success at this tournament. We've had it's been a weird tournament for Italian tennis. I mean, I don't know if anyone had said there would be 3 Italian men in the last 8 of this tournament and none of them would be Yannick Sinner. That's pretty inexplicable. And it's inexplicable now, even now we've seen it, to be honest, but it has happened, and that's where we are. And it's that top half of the draw was 3 out of 4 in the last 8 for Italians, and of course, Auger-Aliassime didn't play great, struggled in the conditions, oddly struggled under the roof. And that's put an Italian through to the final that isn't Sinner. So we've got Zverev, who would have probably been, barring Djokovic being in great form and fitness, would have been the favourite to come through on the bottom half in Alcaraz's absence in the tournament, and Sinner would have been expected to appear in the top half slot in the final, and he sent plenty of substitutes, plenty of countrymen have risen to the challenge instead, and that's where we are. So we'll see qualifier versus rising star Andreeva tomorrow, and we'll see 4-time Grand Slam finalist, 0-time Grand Slam champion, trying to finally get over the line versus Yannick Sinner's substitute. So that'll be interesting. An interesting conclusion to a very, very bizarre, in some ways great, in some ways terrible, Roland Garros.